Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Fat Earth Comedy Cast. We got number 16 coming at you, and we're going to be talking about the best, worst movies. If you don't understand what that means, look at Jimmy, because it blew his fucking mind.
The quarantine man.
This guy's going for the Kramer look.
That's my quarantine look, baby.
He's all pumped up.
They go, you just woke up. I go, nope, I've been up since 9 a.m. That's a real luxury for myself as is.
Yeah, you were saying you were showering twice a day, but for some reason you don't wash your hair. How does that go?
Well, I get it wet and I get it, I use nice hot water, but I just don't use shampoo. I've been
Why?
I'm letting it go natural until I got to go back to the real life.
You guys
I've
trying
been
to go
draining
red.
this. I've been draining this thing of nutrients for 37 years. I'm letting it get a couple back.
Yeah. Well, it's looking good. It's looking greasy.
There she is, baby.
So we'll
There's no
jump right
chow
into
in
this.
this. This thing will just
Yeah.
form on its own. A petri dish.
We'll jump right into this bad boy, and this whole conversation of the best of the worst movie came about because I just watched one of these films, and I'll bring it up right now. And here he is, folks. This is top of the line,
The
80s.
Toxic Avenger.
If you haven't seen this,
Never seen it.
oh my God, well you need to rent this thing tonight because it's an award winner. Look at all
Phenom?
these. I mean, it's there's lots of boobies. It's a low budget film, but a low budget in the 80s. So the cameras they have, because even low budget today, you can get some pretty decent cameras. Back in the 80s, you really struggled with that. But yeah, I guess the producer and director would go to actual locations and have the people there just sign waivers, and he would use real people because like they shoot a lot of it at this gym. And some of the people there are actors. Obviously, the people that talk and stuff are actors, but all the extras were just people that were there because they couldn't really afford to wrangle all that. And they use a couple locations, pretty much shot in this gym and then on the streets. But he's trying to get people's attention. There's lots of boobies. And there's what I really like about the film is they use real classic effects. Because obviously, back in the 80s, you didn't have the luxury of special effects, post production, which I think that stuff looks really bad unless it's done immaculately. That's the problem. People really like a gunfire, they'll go to it, or explosions or fire, and it always looks fake, especially on my TV.
I remember Terminator 2, Schwarzenegger's jumping out of like a moving fire truck, it may be.
Get to it now! No!
It's like a painted ball on the screen. And they try to make it look so fast, but it's T-1000 jumping out of this thing, or T-800.
Oh, yeah, rolling? Yeah.
Yeah, jumping and rolling, and it's like a painted ball, dude. It takes away the attention so hard. I go, what the fuck was that?
It was revolutionary at the time.
Yeah, there you go. Cameron, baby. Jimmy
So
Cam.
yeah, if anybody out there in TV land hasn't seen Toxic Avenger, watch this. There's one particular scene where he crushes a guy's head and this thing just explodes out with goo. I might watch it again tonight to get some laughs, but that's up there and that fits the category best of the worst to a T.
Do you know where I find that? This isn't on Netflix, is it?
It might be it's on Amazon, I know that.
Okay.
Just get Amazon, pay the $2 and watch the dude's movie.
Nothing yeah. Nothing rips apart good bad movies, or maybe just bad movies like Mystery Science Theater 3000.
They talk about like movies in the 50s though.
Right. Maybe the heyday of bad movies, especially science fiction.
Yeah.
But you're more of a buff in this category. I had to do some research just to remember some of them, but I feel like Weekend at Bernie's. I don't know if that's a good movie, but I like that movie. It. Yeah, I like that. I like Weekend at Bernie's 1 and 2 I can handle, and 2 is definitely worse than 1. Or
yeah,
way
2
more
definitely fits into the realm of the best of the worst because I think the 1 they were really trying to actually. Well, I guess that doesn't really matter, but 1 has some decent points. But anybody working a corpse like a fucking marionette puppet, that'll be in that category.
Especially going back it seems like these things the bad good ones are the ones that end up making like 6 of them, you know?
Oh yeah.
Resident Evil, but Police Academy 1, the only R-rated one in the whole slew of them.
That's a good one.
Police Academy, I like that. Going back, that's I would classify as bad good.
I think the first one was levels above. See, when you get into these sequels, you have different actors like Teen Wolf. The first one you got Michael J. The second one you got what's his face from the Ozarks before he was famous. You got Jason Bateman. Isn't that the guy from Teen Wolf 2?
And Arrested Development.
That was when he came back. Like
that was Bateman, a good comeback. Yeah.
Yeah, Jason Bateman storyline. He was an actor on a TV sitcom. I can't remember what it was. Who's the fuck? Let me look that up. But so he was an actor on a show, had a pretty successful run, and then he had a bunch of money as a kid and just partied and did drugs and stuff and kind of wrecked his career. And then he obviously came back with Arrested Development. Now he's all over the place.
He's great. I like him a lot now.
Talk about somebody who ruined their career. This guy was as hot as you could be back in the early 90s, and now he can't afford a sandwich. He actually has a YouTube channel where he just walks around his house. And we're talking Pauly Shore, buddy.
Does he have a YouTube like that? I gotta check that out.
Get back in him just in his
the Weasel.
Yeah. So his mom ran the Comedy Store.
Yep.
And he would always try and get in there and try and do stand-up and stuff, and his mom just never gave. They were dealing with the best comics of the day at the time. So I don't even know how he one thing led to another, and next thing you know, he's on MTV Spring Break. And then he just exploded.
Yeah, he had a run of bad movies that are funny or good, or I guess I don't know how you classify them. You know they're bad while you're watching them, but you could.
They're good bad movies, baby. It's fitting into our.
Bill and Ted's there, baby. I saw little clips. Bill and Ted's might fit into this real nestled in.
Yeah, I'm trying to find this clip because. So he dated. I think he dated this girl. We're talking Pauly Shore. He dated one of the actresses from this movie for a while, and then she got a little annoyed with the.
Was it the dude from? Was it the girl from Clerks?
No, it wasn't that chick. It was one of the scientists that they get locked in there with. If you remember that at all, or I don't know if you remember the film. They steal that nitrous tank. They're sucking the gas.
Yeah.
Eating Cheetos and all the supply of food they have in there. And one of the Baldwin brothers joined them in that.
Steven, my man. Yeah. Before he went, he talks shit about it now because now he's all Catholic and a holy guy. So he doesn't like looking back on that era of movies he made.
Iodome isn't very anti-Christian. It's just goofy.
Goofy, but they partake in drugs and that shit. So
that's true.
He shies away a little bit now.
Yeah. Have you ever seen the movie Fear?
With Mark Wahlberg?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
He's like a stalker.
Yeah. He's in the peephole. Let me in there.
That's perfect for that shit.
Dude. You fucking... Yeah. He's trying to see in there, dude. So I'm thinking, like... I was talking about all these sequels. So, like, the one I haven't seen but has definitely become on the radar for a cult classic is Sharknado. This thing's whole new level of bad is from what I can tell just from the cover of it.
Yeah, that was garbage. I've seen parts of that, but you watch that because you know it's bad. I don't know, this whole genre or this topic today could be obviously stretched to no extent, because then movies like The Room, where they're the worst fucking movie ever, but then they're having a resurgence because they made the Disaster Artist, which is actually a really good movie. You've seen that, right?
No, but Tommy Wiseau, right?
Oh my lord, you gotta watch this because.
I want to see James Franco. I want to see that one where he makes fun of
that's it. The Disaster.
Oh.
The Disaster Artist is the movie that Franco made, and Seth Rogen plays one of the directors in it, and or
Okay.
one of the camera guys. Yeah, because James Franco plays Wiseau, but then um he said that he stayed in character. So when he like when he cut, he's acting as Wiseau, and then he was directing as Wiseau about a movie about a guy making a movie about a guy. Dude, it was a real fucking mind melter. Seth Rogen left.
Disaster.
The Disaster Artist is the movie that Franco made about the movie The Room.
The Room. It released 2003. Tommy Wiseau.
I think it's Wiseau, yeah. So he had like $6 million. They still don't know where the money came from, and he put this movie up in fucking theaters for like 2 weeks on his own dime, so it could qualify for the Oscars, which it did not win, clearly. But yeah, you watch the movie because it goes into his backstory. He never reveals how old he is. He never reveals how he got the money. And he wants to act in the movie and direct the movie. This guy has absolutely no talent whatsoever. James Franco plays the other guy that actually, because it's based on a book that the guy, no, not James Franco. James Franco's brother plays the guy that wrote the book because he was the actor in the movie.
Oh, okay.
He's like writing it after because he didn't really, he met the Wiseau guy in an acting class. And Wiseau's like, I'm going to make a movie and you're going to star in it because they become friends. And yeah, it spirals out of control from there. But the actor guy has no idea. He's never made a movie before. He doesn't. He thinks Wiseau is like actually talented in the beginning, and then this guy's just every decision they make, he disagrees with it. Like the director, the DP, the director of photography, is like, we got to do it like this, this, and this, and he's like, no, no. His accent's classic too, man. It's fucking phenomenal. Watch that bad boy tonight. Actually, this guy's got a whole agenda. Toxic.
I know. Every 60-minute cast we do, I come out with a bunch of homework here.
And I don't think you've done any of it. So
I haven't done shit. Well, you want to know one of my favorite guilty pleasures? Embarrassed to say it. Those categories. I have an actor that I just absolutely. Maybe it's the genre itself, but he's so. Oh, I fucking love it for some reason. It's got the Bond sound effects when he's fucking punching people and shit. I am a massive Steven Seagal fan. You may not have known that. And I mean, everyone you know is poop, but I just love them. Executive Decision. You're going back. Under Siege.
Yeah.
Under Siege. You got Steven Seagal on Deadly Ground. The Glimmer Man. I fucking love this dude. He's just a fucking animal. He's taking on 4 dudes at a time, flipping them. Fucking, I'm a big Seagal fan, so he is the king to me of bad movies that I enjoy. And I can handle Chuck Norris, but
I was gonna bring him up. Yeah.
Yes, Chuck Norris is great too, but Steven Seagal and Van Damme, Claude Van Damme.
Don't take it out of my mouth, ladies and gentlemen. One of my favorite as a fucking kid. Here we go.
Johnny Claude?
Oh, yeah. This is one of the best bad movies you can watch. Raul Julia in a role so perfect. Game over! This shit is unbelievable. The speech that Van Damme gives in this thing. I'm getting in my boat and I'm going up a river. I've been chanting this. This speech has gotten me pumped up for when did this movie come out? 20 good years now.
Yeah.
I used to rent this as a kid, but I was a Van Damme fanatic. When I would go to my father's house, he'd plop me in front of the TV, and if Bloodsport was on, it was a good fucking Saturday.
I've only seen bits and pieces of Bloodsport. I wasn't a Van Damme guy. I've seen one of my favorites, Overtime. Is that Sudden Death? Sudden
Death.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
He takes on the role of a goalie in this thing. It's so far-fetched that in between periods, he goes in the locker room, suits up as the goalie, and now he's playing in an NHL hockey game, ladies and gentlemen. Good thing he can do the splits.
Theater with your cousin, who told me there's a Van Damme movie coming out with hockey in it.
Oh
we
yeah.
we gotta go see this thing. Your cousin was big into hockey, so we went and saw that. I remember I loved it. He's beating that dude's ass in the kitchen. He's just
Yeah.
it's so yeah. I like Van Damme, but not. I don't remember Street Fighter. I don't. If I've seen it, I do not recall it. So man, would I love the dream fight of my guy versus your guy with Chuck Norris as the ref or other ways around. Seagal, Van Damme, and Norris are just the 80s, 90s kings of cheesy not comedy.
Yeah, that'd be sweet if they had a one-on-one fighter style game where you have like Arnold, you got Van Damme,
That would be
Seagal.
sweet, yeah.
I'd put Van Damme against some people. This guy knew what he was doing. You got Bruce Lee.
Well, all three of them were black belts of sorts.
Right.
I think Steven Seagal's actually a double black belt, but the shit, like, there's some funny. Joe Rogan looks at some funny videos. I forget who he's talking to, but he's asking him about, let me show you this, and he pulls up Steven Seagal like hip tossing some dude with the most ease, and the guy goes, yeah, well, that is a real move, but I think there's a lot of acting going on there as well.
Right.
So.
Have you ever seen Time Cop, though? It was the first time that Van Damme did the splits in between counters. It's a classic.
Time Cop?
Yeah.
Okay, I definitely remember the photo.
Oh, yeah. You remember that greasy physique, too, don't you?
Exit Wounds with DMX. Steven Seagal, Exit Wounds with DMX back in 2001. Oh, yeah. Great shit. DMX is a great thug.
Do we have any best of the worst for comic book movies?
I like with the one with Jim Carrey's. It's newer, but not super new.
Sonic the Hedgehog?
No, not that new. It's super. That's probably good, bad. It's an action hero, but
who's in it?
Oh, I forget
Jim
the
Carrey?
kid. The kid's shit. He's a green. He's
the
a
Grinch.
green. No. Jim Carrey's the dad in it. That of the daughter of the daughter that's a badass. Fuck. It'll come.
Marvel or DC? What is it?
No, it's in between those. It's R-rated. The violence is off the charts on this thing.
Yeah, I've never heard of this. Kick-Ass?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Kick-Ass. Yeah, that's a good. Kick-Ass is good, I think. The first one. I don't know if it's a bad movie.
Jim Carrey had a hard time doing the second one, or maybe even bailed on. No, I don't think he bailed on it, but ended up didn't like the amount of violence and stuff. But yeah, I like the Kick-Ass movies a lot.
It's Colonel Stars and Stripes, is his name. Oh my God! I can't believe this. We're forgetting a classic that Jim Carrey was. Jim Carrey was a comic book creature. Check this out. He was the Riddler.
Oh, yeah.
One of the worst Batmans you've ever fucking seen in your life. Is that Batman and Robin?
That's Batman and Robin, baby.
What a horrible, horrible film.
George Clooney.
Yeah, that wasn't very good. So, I don't know.
Carrey
I don't
was
even know if
right
that's worth a
Riddler,
rewatch.
but yeah.
See, these movies, I think the category for the best of the worst is it's a bad movie, but it's so bad that it's worth a rewatch. Because some movies are just bad and you're never watching that shit again. But these movies, I think you can rewatch them and like them.
A bad comedy I fucking love goes under the radar a lot. It's got my coke addict buddy, Chevy Chase.
Yeah.
It's got Dan Aykroyd as a fucking makeup done judge. It's got John Candy as a fucking little $2 cop in the middle of the sticks. It's got Demi Moore with the 80s style or early 90s style haircut you like, the natural Demi Moore, before she got them gorgers. And Nothing But Trouble. Have you seen this, Jem? I fucking love this, man. Oh my God. The Humpty, you remember the Humpty dance?
Oh, yeah.
Digital Underground is in this movie. Dan Aykroyd does Nothing But Trouble with Dan Aykroyd and Chevy Chase. It's fucking great. They get busted in the back sticks. Chevy Chase is a big-time lawyer. They get busted in the back sticks there. Look at Dan Aykroyd all done up, dude. Look at
he's melting.
Right. He's just this old, cranky judge that he's got this when you're guilty in this little stick town, you got to ride this roller coaster of death. That's your sentence. So it's great. Look at Tupac, young Tupac in it. It's great, dude. That movie, 91, baby. That is a watchable bad movie. You want some homework? There it is.
Yeah, if I can find this thing.
Nothing but trouble. It might be on Comcast, dude. It's a fucking great little hidden gem.
Have you ever seen Roadhouse?
Oh, love it. One of my favorite movies was definitely getting mentioned. I feel like it's a bad movie, but I love Patrick. He is so fucking Swayze. And yeah, dude, I watched it 2 days ago. I mean, this thing pops on. I can watch it every fucking time. I watched where I came in where the Don's eating breakfast. And he's sitting at the table and he's got the fork in his hand. I just love this acting of the villain.
Yeah.
And Patrick Swayze walks in his back sunroom and looks at his grandpa's photo. He goes, "That was my grandpa." He goes, "He looks like a smart man." He goes, "He was an asshole."
Yeah.
I love Roadhouse, baby.
Yeah,
fucking Sam. What's my man's name? Sam the Badass.
I haven't seen Roadhouse in so long, dude.
He's the cowboy.
It's not as fresh in my mind because you watched it 2 days ago, apparently.
Yeah, Toxic Avenger. You want to start me off with that? I got to give you a hard one.
I mean, you'll cry laugh if you watch this fucking movie. It's out of control, man. This guy's such a nerd.
You know what? Another slew of them I like are I like The Rock a lot. I know you don't. Oh. I like that one where he's taking down the bad casino guy with 2x4s. He's running around the stick
Walk
town.
Hard.
Walk Hard, baby.
I think that's a remake of a movie.
Walk Tall.
Walk
Tall. Is a remake. That is the Rock's beginning of his career is all remakes. It's like not the replacements, but he did some shit where he's a football player. He does a bunch of, but yeah, Roadhouse, dude, 1989, fucking great. Con Air, you a Con Air guy?
Yeah, I like Con Air. What's his name? Fuck. Who's the main guy in that?
Nick Cage, baby.
Yeah, Nick Cage is he's teeter-totters on the line of best of the worst at all times.
At all times, dude. Fucking National Treasure, I'm a big fan of.
I would never watch that. I don't know if I'd watch it again though. That's you got to use that as your judge. You're gonna watch Ghost Rider for couple seatings?
No. I'm not talking about that. But Con Air, I can handle. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'd watch Con Air. That movie's got a little plot to it. It's got some good actors. You got Buscemi in there.
Now, he's one of my favorite directors, but arguably a lot of his shit is good, bad, I would say, including probably Alice in Wonderland. But Tim Burton and Johnny Depp are famous for making something a little bit fucking out there. Where do you put Alice in Wonderland? I know it got bad reviews compared to what they wanted it.
I don't know if he's a good, bad, or just into the bad category. Because like when he makes a good movie like Ed Wood or the Batmans, when they're good, they're good. When they're bad, they bad. And I wasn't a fan of the Alice in Wonderlands. I just didn't really get it. But it's a lot of CGI. I don't know. It's not really up my alley. You said you liked them?
I want to love Tim Burton and everything he does because it's so out there, but half of it misses.
His wife's always in the stuff.
Yeah, you really force-fed her, although she's great. I mean, actress.
She is good. No, she's a good actress. She's in better movies than the ones that he's put together. But the Bride, what was it? Nightmare Before Christmas is pretty good.
I like switching topics a little bit on there, just because I was thinking about. I like some of the. Well, I like Wild Wild West. That's Will Smith. Will Smith seems to have a slew of these. Independence Day.
I can get on that. I can get on Independence Day.
Little Jeffrey Goldblum.
Yeah, everybody is in that movie, making cameos and shit.
But what about like Kevin Smith, like Clerks or Jay and Silent Bob? I think is one of my. Jay and Silent Bob is one of my favorite bad comedies, I'd say.
Yeah, I like Jane the Strikes Back one. With
Mark Hamill, Cockknocker.
Yeah, that's a good fit. That's not bad, man. When I was a kid, I would watch that all the time. But I sat down and watched Jay and Silent Bob the reboot, And this fucking movie is the worst shit you've ever seen. I couldn't even sit through the thing once. I watched it for 20 minutes. I felt embarrassed for the guys that were making cameos because he's got all the dudes in it. You know, Jason Lee, and that was pretty much the point to where I got it. It was Jason Lee and the main kid from the movie Waiting, the brown-haired guy.
Okay.
I don't know what his name is, but I got to that point and I just couldn't watch it anymore. It's awful.
What? When did that come out? He had new actors redoing the actual original movie, or what?
Him and the guy that plays Jay.
So it's supposed to be like 2?
It's well, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, because Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back is their first standalone, because they were in like Mallrats and stuff. They might have been in Clerks.
They were in Clerks. Kevin Smith directed and wrote Clerks.
I don't think Clerks, the first one's a bad movie. That's a good movie. I think that movie won Best New Film at Sundance. Well, you gotta think back. Go ahead.
No, you got to think back. What?
Oh, you got to think back when that movie came out. Like, it looks, the quality of it's pretty shitty, but that was old school. You had like a tape deck. You had to cut the film and then paste it together on the old fucking editing machines. It wasn't all digital like nowadays.
Well, yeah. Plus, he spent like $20,000. I mean, the thing, he spent more than that, obviously, but I mean, it was
I think
low
he spent
budget.
$500,000 on it.
Yeah, it was well done. I mean,
let's see what the cost of Clerks was.
Zohan, you know, I'm a big fan of that. Tropic Thunder, massive fan of that. I think that's bad good.
No, come on. What are you doing? These movies are good.
Oh, okay.
Tropic Thunder, you think is a bad movie? That movie's good.
I think it's great. I love it. It's literally one of my favorite movies of any category, but it's off the wall writing. I think if you read the script, you'd go, what the fuck is this? But they pull it together with hilarious actors and the way those guys are able. I never saw Dumb and Dumber 2, Dumb and Dumberer.
No, you don't want to see that.
Yeah, I got such bad ratings. I couldn't see myself.
You think you lose brain cells from drinking booze and puffing herb. You lose brain cells from the Dumb and Dumberer. Okay, so I'm on Clerks now. Clerks cost 20, because me and Jimmy are working on a short movie, but we're gonna try and make a feature film, and we're trying to get a budget together. So Clerks cost $27,000 to shoot, and then it cost another $230,000 in post production. What is that even being spent on? That just goes to show you a guy can't sit in his office and edit it on his computer. They probably had to rent the editing rooms where you can cut the film and play in.
Yeah, but the bulk of the expense was getting into theaters. That's included.
And it made $3.2 million, so it made 10 times. It made a lot more than it cost. Made about 15 times its cost. That's fucking pretty good.
Yep.
That's good.
Getting movies in theaters, you got to pay to get them, and how many theaters you want to get them in, and then the marketing. So that's easy. You can chew up $250.
Yeah, but I don't think they added to that, because they might have. But when you do go to a place like Sundance, the whole point of going to a movie festival is having distributed. You know, when you see a movie and there's like 4 things before it actually says what the movie is. Those are either the distributing companies, the production companies, the parent companies to what's going on there. So, or the animation studios that did all the special effects. But I always wondered what that was. And now you see, because it's like, okay, like for me, we make something, it might be under 31 and up productions. But if we take it to Sundance and someone buys it there, they're going to slap their production company on the top of that.
Yep.
And then it goes from there. So I don't know. I don't know the inner workings of that. I would like to, hopefully we learn one day. Because we're going to win Sundance, motherfucking ladies and gents. You better believe that. But so the best of the worst, this is a big genre, but it's the horror genre. When I was a kid, man, my birthday parties, I would always rent like 4 movies. And people that are listening to this that are young kids, you know, between 19 and 25, they probably have no recollection of these days, but we'd go to Blockbuster and you'd try and pick out movies to rent. And I would always get the Critter movies. There's like 1 and 8. There's a good amount of those. 1 through 8. You got Critters and the Leprechaun movies.
The Leprechaun series.
Yeah, you ever seen Leprechaun in the Hood?
I haven't seen them, but no.
Oh
One of my
man.
favorite old poop horror movies was The People Under the Stairs. I fucking used to love
Oh,
that
Rob,
movie.
yeah, my cousin always tells me about that one. I'll have to check that out. Yeah, man, Leprechaun. Go ahead.
The Human Centipede.
Yeah, that's too much for me, my friend. That's too much for me. But this is, the Leprechaun franchise is where, who got their start in this? In Leprechaun 1?
No.
Jennifer Aniston. First movie she was ever in.
There
I'm
she
the
goes.
Leprechaun.
Well, that was the big outcome of the 6 of these now. There's probably 10 of these things now.
Yeah, he's in the hood, he's in space.
Yeah.
It's everything. I've watched though the Leprechaun in the Hood is a very good example of what we're going for here. Because I've watched the worst shit you've ever seen in your life, but I've watched it multiple times because it's funny.
Ice-T,
funny.
baby.
Oh yeah, Ice-T's in it. making his grand entrance
acting debut.
Is that Ice-T?
Is that motherfucking Ice-T? Mortal Kombat, baby. You know I love that good bad.
Yeah. It's hard. I guess there's a real problem. They can't adapt a video game to a movie. It baffles the mind. Like going back to Street Fighter, they don't use any storyline from the actual game, and there is a storyline to it. Chun-Li is a reporter. Balrog is her camera guy. It doesn't make any sense. Ken and Ryu are like con men. You know what I'm saying?
You got a Mario Brothers
judo.
Movie.
What?
You got a Mario Brothers movie, Poop, Doom, Poop.
Oh, that's Poop to the point where you can't watch it again.
Right.
Mario's Brothers might be the worst video game adaptation there is.
It's out there. It's bad. Yeah, Resident Evil's got 6 of these things out, all starring
Mila Jakonovich.
Yeah.
At least she adds something to it because she has like a huge fan base. And I think those Resident Evil movies do pretty good, actually.
They do really good, dude. But I mean, I don't know. I'm not sitting down for 6 of them.
This was my childhood, though.
Critters. What's the one that, not Dune, but what's the one where it's like, all the sand monster things? There's a bunch of them now.
Oh, man. Yeah. What the hell is the name of that? Fuck.
There's like 6 of those now I found on Netflix, accidentally stumbling around.
Tremors.
Yeah.
Isn't Kevin Bacon in that?
Kevin Bacon's in probably the first 2, and then then all of a sudden it goes down the tubes there.
Let's pull that up, man. That's is that movie pretty bad?
I mean, yeah. Tremors 5, Bloodlines.
Have you ever played the game Zombies Ate My Neighbors?
Oh man, why do I remember that? I don't know.
It's an old game from SNES. It was really cool. There was 55 levels. It was absolutely gigantic, and the game was pretty much based on all old sci-fi creatures. But there was a level with the Tremor type things, werewolves and zombies and Dracula and like little Chucky dolls and stuff. Child's Play kind of fits into that category. I think all these horror films, usually when a guy tries to make his first movie, people really gravitate towards the horror genre because they can kind of sink their teeth into the low budget. Especially like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the first one. That was a pretty low budget film.
Tremors always reminded me like you wandered out in the Beetlejuice movie. Like you opened the door and walked out into that area for the whole 2 hours, and that's the movie. Howard the Duck. You want to talk about some bad fucking superhero movies?
Yeah, and George Lucas did that one, I think.
He was involved big time, yeah. Produced by Lucas and written. Tim Robbins was in that.
Yeah. That was more of that was like they were taking a swing for the fence on that because they were trying to make it's like a kid's concept, but it was an adult format.
Well, the comic was for adults, but it was kids. It was a comic book, and they just you couldn't do it, you know?
Yeah, he like swore and stuff, and there was like some sexual
Yeah.
stuff
Oh yeah.
in it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So speaking of superhero movies, you asked me about that. You got some that got some real poop reviews. Green Lantern, Ryan Reynolds
Oh yeah.
prior to Daredevil, dude. This dude.
But that's not a bad word. That's not a good worst movie. That's just a bad movie. Because no one's watching that poop again, man. Don't give
Well,
out these reviews because this shit's fucking garbage.
one I watched multiple times that's real bad. Starship Troopers.
Oh, dude, I'm telling you, that movie actually has gotten some praise and it's developed a cult following over the years. I like it. I like the themes of it. How America just comes and we just destroy everything.
It's really shot different too. It's almost like a documentary because like it's flying in and showing you this, and then it's cutting back to the action, and then it's to Doogie Howser giving you tips and
yeah, he was the general. But if you like look at the themes of the movie, it's pretty much it's a satire on our own society about how we just come and conquer and just destroy whatever we want. We have no respect for the bugs. It's their planet, and we go there and we're just trying to destroy it and find resources and stuff. At the end, when they capture the brain bug, they're just jabbing this thing with needles. And we're gonna figure out what it thinks. Oh yeah, they go. We know what it thinks. It's scared. They're all yelling and shit. But yeah, it's a direct play on the old Nazi regime. Actually their outfits and their little medals look like Nazi symbols almost.
Yeah.
It's scared. Oh, and you also get a nice little shot of Denise Rich. There's a couple of good-looking women in that. I love a Denise Richards.
Denise was great. That movie with Vince Vaughn where he's their teacher.
What's that? Oh, I thought you were gonna talk about the one where she has the three-way.
Yeah.
Wild Thing. That's a good bad movie because people probably just fast forward to that part. Kevin Dillon, or no, not Kevin Dillon. Matt Dillon's in it.
Matt Dillon, Vince Vaughn. Yeah, Vince Vaughn's in it too, isn't he?
Okay.
Maybe I'm thinking Dillon. Maybe it's Dillon, and that big hair like this is screwing me up. For some reason, I thought Vince was in it too. Maybe I'm thinking Dillon.
That's great when they're pouring the champagne. When you're a kid, especially back in the days before the internet just took control, but you know, you would love. That's why Mr. Skin exploded because all you really had were these movies and the nudity scenes within them. So you take a Mr. Skin who can show you exactly when and where. But you know what? It's always better to see those actresses. They look way better. It's the way better, like the lighting and the quality of it's a lot better. And I don't know, maybe today's quality porn's getting there, but
when I was in 5th grade, we used to have sleepovers at my buddy's house, and his parents were huge in the Columbia House VHS Club and just had lockers full of movies. And we wouldn't use Mr. Skin, but this kid was amazing at knowing every minute marker of where the boobies were. So we were, he would constantly have these sleepovers with just me and him, and he would
go,
we got to go Under Siege. She pops out of the birthday cake with all her tits. And then we got to go to Total Recall. This woman's got 3 tits. And then we would, the 5th grade there, learning about tits. I guess it's weird, but fuck.
No, it's about the age.
Adam Sandler's famous for all this poop. Like I said, Zohan, but I forgot Little Nicky. You know, that's I don't know if it's good, bad, or where that ranks, but
it's just bad in my eyes.
Yeah, it's bad in my eyes too. What about what was Zohan or not Zohan? No, that's the one I like. What's Zoolander? That's Ben Stiller had some fucking poop he put out there. That's
I think a lot of people love Zoolander.
I know. Zoolander,
there's a couple of good scenes in it, but it's just not really up my alley. It's not my kind of humor. You got Jack and Jill from Sandler. That might be teetering on that just because it's so awful, and Al Pacino's in it. It's fun to just watch this guy play off of Sandler playing off Sandler. It won like 5 Razzies that year.
Razzies. That's my boy is my other Sandler guilty pleasure. I like with Samberg, Andy Samberg. I like that.
I think all Sandler movies are a guilty pleasure besides Happy Gilmore and Billy Madison. Big Daddy. Wedding
Even
Singer.
then, the writing,
Yeah.
As I'm stumbling through looking on here, I forgot about this movie, and I love Eddie Murphy. It's got Alec Baldwin too, but I never seen it. The Adventures of Pluto Nash.
Oh,
I
I
know
don't know
this
that
thing.
one.
This thing bit the dust so hard when it came out. Eddie Murphy, yeah, The Adventures of Pluto. He still gets made fun of on making that one.
What do you think about like a Top Gun? Is that considered too good to be in the
Too
category?
good. Too good.
Cheesy. You gotta admit that.
There's some cheese, but not no. You got war heroes. You got you got current day events taking place. Maybe the new one. The new one might be extra cheesy with Tom Cruise at this age doing it, but he's now the. I guess he's now the commander at Top Gun. He's the teacher. I got to do something.
Natural.
I still can't even believe you two hot shots are going to Top Gun.
Yes. Is the girl in it still?
She may have passed away.
Oh, I thought it was Elizabeth Shue, wasn't it?
Oh, maybe not. Okay.
She's still going.
God, I'm looking through Chuck Norris's arsenal here, dude. Forest Warrior.
Yeah, between Norris, great. Van Damme, and Seagal, these guys probably pumped out like 50 fucking movies, just in the 80s alone, and they're all pretty much plotless. That's why I like Bloodsport, because it's based on real events. That the American went to the there was this fighting thing, underground fighting thing in Japan, and you have to like get invited. And he, like, his master was invited, and then he actually went for him, and he fucking won, dude. He had like the quickest knockout. You don't want me to spoil it, do you?
Well, spoiler alert. No, it's not too soon.
The movie's been out for 50 years, man. Spoiler alert on Bloodsport. For me, I like Bloodsport because of the music. It's like this techno pump up. I don't even know how to explain it. This shit goes into it, and you get all fired up, dude. You see him stretching, and then he goes in and lays these dudes out. Maybe it's just some nostalgia from my childhood, me and my dad watching this movie, but see, I always liked Van Damme, was at the top of my list, and no one else compared to him. Maybe Schwarzenegger, because he was in actually good films, but never was that big of a Seagal fan. Obviously, the Under Siege, the Executive Decision movie. Although in the Executive Decision, he dies within the first like 20 minutes of the film.
I love him.
I heard he's a real aggressive asshole too towards women these days, and he's a mayor of some city.
I know he he's like Shaq. He likes to go hang out with the cops and pretend he's a cop when he's.
I think he is, isn't he? Wasn't he the mayor or something?
Yeah, he's sheriff. I'm Sheriff Seagal here.
Oh, piggybacking on the reality show episode, I think there was a reality show about him like manning the town.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I was.
Where were you on that one, dipshit?
I watched it, baby.
Why did you bring it up?
Seagal. It ain't bad. It ain't fucking a bad movie. It's TV, and it was poo poo. But Last Action Hero, I fucking love that movie with Schwarzenegger. He's a movie character in the real world. But you gave Schwarzenegger too much credit there. He's been in a lot of good bad, and most of it is good bad. He's got a lot of Seagal kind of feeling to him, like The Rock. Where
please don't put him in the same category as the Tooth Fairy again. Not the same
category, but The Rock is modern day Schwarzenegger / Stallone.
Oh no, dude!
What?
Stallone's right up there with some of the Rambos and stuff.
Demolition Man.
That's a Wesley Snipes. I like that.
Oh yeah, Wesley Snipes. Hell yeah, the Lawman.
Looks like he ate a couple of men. He's very pudgy these days.
Look at this. He's like Native American, dude. He uses it to his, full extent.
Yeah, he got free college off it. He really used it hard in his life.
He's worth 15 mil. I just looked up.
That's about right.
Yeah, mid card. He's a bottom card. But he made a living doing it.
That's fucking good.
Shit! You remember that movie Airborne?
Yeah,
they're on the rollerblades. They
got to go down Devil's Backbone.
Yeah,
I saw that shit in theaters with my cousin Michael's like whatever year it was, that birthday. What year did it come out?
93.
So 93. Let me do the math here. Yeah, I can't do it. He was probably like 9.
Seth Green, way before his
time. Oh yeah.
In that.
When was his time really though? To be honest.
The show he owned, Robot Chicken. That's probably his time.
Or I liked a
couple good bad Seth Green flicks. She's All That. Not She's
All
All That.
She's All That could be in this category. That's some cheese, but that's like a movie. There's so many up and coming actors in that film.
Yep.
Freddie Prinze Jr. Hold on. Gotta look that up.
She's All That is in here.
You could consider some of those parody movies, like Not Another Teen Movie or Scary Movie.
Oh, big time. Scary Movie. That's what I'm talking about. They make 6 of these fucking things. Everything that's bad, almost good. Sharknado. They end up making a fucking ton of them because the cult following. They're cheap to make and.
Yeah, Sharknado's going ballistic. And what would be an episode if we didn't bring up the Stern Show? One of his writers was on it. And he really tries to act in this thing, and it's the worst shit you've ever seen. He just yells. Ah! Ah! There's a Sharknado, and the sharks have what do they? They have fucking chainsaws attached to them. So we got Freddie Prinze Jr., Rachel Lee Cook, Matthew Lillard. He was from Scream.
Matthew Lillard, yeah, oh yeah.
Paul Walker. I don't remember him being in that.
Oh,
Kevin
wow.
Pollak. Usher. Kimberly Jones. Anna Paquin. And the music was composed by Stuart Copeland from The Police. How do you like that, ladies and gentlemen?
They were up and coming, baby.
Yeah, I thought there was more in there.
That's a good up and coming list, though. That really is.
I thought the main chick wasn't who she is. I thought she was like Sarah Michelle Gellar or Love Hewitt. Guess not. I just remember Freddie Prinze, and then he dated Love Hewitt for a while.
What about something where they got to like switch up? So like Iron Man 1, obviously not a bad movie or right. In this category, right? But no. You got how they got to switch the guys. So Speed 1, great movie. Yeah. I love Speed.
So do I.
Then Speed 2, all of a sudden the dude that Sandra Bullock's married to, aka Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
Man, I kept thinking Tom Cruise. Holy shit. Keanu Reeves. Now it's a new dude. And they're out on the. Oh no! It's not supposed to be the same guy, is it? They write into the story that they broke up and now she's with the new guy.
Yeah. There's no backline to it. They just broke up and now it's going this way. But
now she's back in another scene.
I love Dennis Hopper. He's a phenomenal villain. Just because, have you ever seen the movie Blue Velvet?
No.
One of my favorite movies. I love David Lynch. You either like David Lynch or you don't, because it's really strange and it's really dreamlike. I don't know if you like movies like that where you don't really have the plot. It's more of a thinking piece for you to figure out. But I consider it it's more of a piece of art in the sense where it's like a moving painting instead of a movie with a beginning, middle, and an end. There are beginning, middles, and ends. But watch Blue Velvet because Dennis Hopper plays this guy. I want to fuck something.
Is that what that's from?
Yeah, he's out of control in this fucking movie, bro. He huffs. You don't know what he has. He has this like gas thing that he sucks his gas down, and then he just fucking gets all pumped up. He goes ballistic.
I say that all the time. I want to fuck something.
Oh, well, watch this film, and then
that's where it comes from, huh?
I don't know if you've heard it from there, but yeah, he said it on there. I wish I could play a clip from it, man. This shit's unbelievable. But that's one of my favorite movies. But yeah, Dennis Hopper's the bad guy in Speed, and he does a really good job. Speed's just a good all-around film.
Speed's great. Ahead of its time with the writing.
For some reason, I feel like it's like a Thanksgiving movie or something.
Well, you got that Die Hard vibe to it.
Yeah, but not Christmas. It's Thanksgiving this year.
No, I like it. I like it. That'd be a good marketing ploy for Speed. They go, we're not the Christmas movie, all right?
No.
We're the fucking Thanksgiving one,
No.
and I'd like you to air us 24/7 on TBS.
Yes, yes. But I'm sure there's a lot of Christmas movies that fall into this category because people just watch them for the nostalgia reason
Oh
of them.
yeah, the Crunks or fucking
What,
all that
what's
shit.
with the cranks?
The cranks, yeah. The fucking I gotta get cranked to see this fucking thing.
Tim
Although,
Allen played Santa Claus once, and now he's typecast.
yeah.
Ho ho ho!
Well, I definitely like Jamie Lee Curtis, so I guess I shouldn't hate on the cranks because I like seeing a little Jamie Lee.
Yeah. Do you like any of the Halloween movies?
Not, I can stomach that kind of thing, but I got to be in the mood. And like you said, it's almost holiday based to me around Halloween. So
That first one put John Carpenter on the map. You got to respect it. He wrote it,
yeah,
directed it, and he
of
scored
course,
it.
I do respect them. It's not like I don't own them and I don't sit out to go and watch them on a yearly basis. But
Yeah.
Freddy Krueger, I like Freddy Krueger a lot. That's almost
I,
good bad. That's especially back in the 80s and 90s, the technology wasn't there for the shit they're trying to do. So, like you said, that's almost when it becomes the bad category because they can't get done. It's kind of like what we set out to film. You can't get done what you have in your head. And that's when this shit happens, these blunders. You remember, man, forever, I used to be so scared of Three Men and a Baby with the
uh-huh.
scene with do you know the scene I speak of where they pan by in the hallway and they
Oh
accidentally
yeah.
they
I see the
left.
ghost.
Yeah, there's a kid in this urban legend goes around that it's the kid died in the place they used to
Well, that was
film.
true. That actually was true, but the ghost thing
No,
is not.
no. Oh, the kid did die. Well, whatever. Ultimately,
Yeah.
what that was, I've seen a whole documentary on this fucking thing.
Wow.
Is they left a promotional ad for Cheers accidentally in the room with the door somewhat cracked, and it had a fucking silhouette of Ted Danson, like standing like a cowboy almost, with like his back against the wall. And as they panned through, that's what you saw was this silhouette cutout where it looked like a fucking human
Yeah.
in the background of it. And so,
I heard the
but
same thing.
as a kid, I that's why I did so much research as I got older on it. I used to fucking hate that, dude. I used to really believe in ghosts and shit. And once I found out about this little rumor, I owned that movie. I ended up watching it one time and having a fucking conniption. I was like
Yeah, did
eight
you like
years old.
pause it right there and try and see if you could
Oh
see the ghost?
yeah, I went down the rabbit hole in my living room at like 8, 9 years old, freaking out. Then after an hour of it, and
Yeah, maybe that's actually a pretty good episode we can do in the future is urban myths that surround movies because there are some that are really creepy. I won't get into them, but some of them pan out. I don't know. I have a feeling that some of this stuff is based on humans conjuring up emotions and then that kind of reverberates into the universe and sometimes you get what you ask for, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to end it on that note.
that's about as deep as one could get. Leave you with that little fish hook, folks.
Well, conjure up good thoughts. Everybody stay positive out there. We're having some rough goes, and I know now it's becoming. At first, there was maybe a little novelty fun to this as I got to stay inside. I know I'm not trying to make light of the situation, but you didn't know how long you were going to stay inside. People are like, all right, I can get some stuff done. But now it's starting to get on to people's nerves. I'm sure there's lots of issues, mental issues, and we aren't making light of that, ladies and gentlemen. We really want to know. We want you to know that our heart's going out to you guys. We're trying to provide you some content to help you through these boring, fucked up times. What do you think about that?
It's funny watching the public now. It has completely switched 180. Now people are getting angry and ornery that there's too many rules and this is
Right.
overboard, and that they're taking some are taking for granted how this has worked, and that it would have been worse had we been out in the public and everybody was doing whatever they wanted. So normal life. So it's really weird to me that the public has now turned, and whether it's our governor in Michigan or others, they're just so combative and so quick.
Well, the bottom line is, I'm reading a book right now. It's called well, I'm not going to talk about the name, but it's really talking about intellect versus intelligence. And intelligence is how you gather knowledge, and intellect is actually you using that knowledge, but thinking about it and using your own brain to decipher one thing or another. I'm not saying any of this stuff is bullshit. I'm just saying I don't not support people using their own minds and coming to their own conclusions. Look, if you watch just media, your brain would be mush right now because all they're doing is just supporting with the bad stuff. So again, ladies and gentlemen, we aren't making light of this in any way. We're telling you to stay inside, but again, I'm saying use your brain. Don't just follow the sheep.
I love it. I love it. Everybody, stay safe. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.
Boom.